So hello everyone, I'm Nazifa Muzammil and I'm here at the Data Fest with my incredible team, and we have with us representatives from our project partners. Thank you so much for joining us all today here. So what brought us together here is this innocuous acronym NEET. So what is NEET? Anyone from the age group 16 to 24 who's not in education, training, or employment is called as NEET. Now, why might NEET be an issue? In the year 2022, 4.5% of the students for the age group 16 to 17 were categorized as NEET. Now, you might think that 4.5% is not that dramatic, is it? But it increases to 14.5% when the age group of 18 to 24 comes there in England. And here is where the things get worse. The NEET individuals remain disadvantaged in their level of attainment even after 10 years. They're at a 50% higher risk of going into depression or anxiety. They're more likely to work. There's a chance, 2.5 times more chance for them to work in low status occupations when compared to their non-NEET fellows, and they're 2.8 times likely to be economically inactive. Now that we knew the problem at hand, this is where the team NEET jumped in. Our main goal was to create a data-driven solution in order to predict the students who are potentially becoming NEET, mainly for the age group 16 to 18, so that the councils could provide effective and efficient interventions to those in need. In order to fulfill this goal, we had a three-step process. The first step was to identify the data sets and build a processing pipeline. For that, we got data from the councils. Thank you so much for that. But not just that, but we had some government-level data on the internet, which made our model more robust. The second step was to develop a predictive model for decision-making in order to flag a student as NEET or non-NEET. Lastly, our project wouldn't have been complete without providing our project partners with a dynamic space where the data comes in alive as the visualizations, the dashboard. Now, imagine that you are a council member. You might want to predict if a student is NEET or non-NEET. You have three options you can opt for. The Rooney tool, which is currently used by most of the councils. You might want to go with the NEET 22 model, which is the last year's DSSGx team model, or you might want to go with our solution. So hypothetically taking a number of 32 of NEET students as well as non-NEET students in your council, if you use the Rooney tool, you might be just able to predict 5 out of those 32 students as NEET. And you might wonder why the other box is empty. It's just because the Rooney tool is a manual tool which does not operate with the non-NEETs. So you might wonder if you just switch to the NEET 22 model. Here, you'll be able to flag 17 out of those 32 students as NEET, which is a better accuracy when compared to the Rooney tool. And because it's an automated predictive model, it would look at to the non-NEET students as well. But this year, we've made it even more better in terms of accuracy, and now you can flag 24 out of those 32 students as NEET. But these are just mere models, and models are prone to errors. There are two types of errors that you might face when dealing with this issue. The first thing is if the student is actually non-NEET and you label them as NEET. As a council member, this is an issue for you in terms of resource allocation and money, because it is not required in the first place if this is the sort of misclassification you have. This is a misclassification that the Rooney tool does a lot, and the last year's team tried to mitigate these numbers and they were successful in doing it. But we've done it even better. But this is not where it ends. There's another type of misclassification where a student who is actually NEET is misclassified as non-NEET. Here's where the individual misses on the resources and the level of support they actually need. So here again, the Rooney tool does a lot of misclassifications. The last year's team reduced these numbers by quite a well as well, but then this was a major source of focus for our project as well. So we have reduced this even more. And this is where it comes to the F2 score, because we've laid more weight on these missed NEET students, along with the wrongly predicted NEET students and the true predictions of the NEET as well as the non-NEET. So we've managed to improve the F2 score by more than 20% when compared to the last year's model as well as the Rooney tool. So moving on to the insights, these are some of the features that our model has labeled as the most important ones that might cause a student into going NEET. The GCSE attainment scores, the unauthorized and authorized absence rates, the level of support, whether the student receives free school meals, and special education needs. Not just that, but the school to home distance as well as the deprivation indices of where the student lives might also be a reason. Moving to the heart of the matter, the impact. The solution that we provide allows no student to fall out of the net. It looks at each and every individual throughout the process and allows the councils to provide effective and efficient interventions to those who are in the need. And there's a potential to scale this project at a national level that might help mitigate the NEET students in England. So, moving on to the horizon of opportunities this project has. The project can be refined using data sets from other councils, and the prediction performance can be improved by data augmentation and more feature engineering. Given that the model sees all the data and the diversity of the data set, it might be able to develop a better and a more robust approach towards ethics and bias. And lastly, more centralized school-level data can be used to upscale the project nationally. So this might be an end for us, but a start for somebody else. Thank you so much. See you at the poster session, and do not forget to join us for the live demo of the dashboard. Thank you so much.